So here we are, right in the middle of the first heat wave of 2022 to hit Merlin's Mountain, to hit West Wales. Really, it seems to be all over West Wales at the moment. And there have actually been some bushfires, which is very bad news, but not here, fortunately. So in this video, but first we will go for a little spin. Use this time, friends, to just think of the numerology. You know, do you want to pick card 1, card 2, or card 3? Try and make that decision now if you can. Trust your inner psychic. Your inner psychic, your third eye, knows exactly where you're headed. top has changed colour. How very, very strange is that? Well, I must admit, right, the heat wave is now over. Things just took me a few days to get things together. Busy, busy, busy in the garden trying to get stuff ready because we're nearly in April now and it's all got to be done. Anyway, we are now going to do the card reading bit. We are going to use Keepers of the Light Oracle by Kyle Gray. I love this deck. It's reminiscent, it reminds me of a deck by Doreen Virtue, the Ascended Masters, that I often use on this channel, only it's kind of an up-to-date sort of version. It's a new take altogether. Actually, not just a version of it, but it's a real good deck, and the cards are wonderful, cards are colourful, and they really kind of help direct our thoughts towards where our thoughts need to be directed to. So I'm giving them yet another good shuffle. They get shuffled all the time because they get used all the time. By the way, if you'd like a private reading, my email address down there, gmail, 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. Down there in the description, if you'd like a private reading, give me a shout. We will fix it up, absolutely for sure. Okay, so let's bring out the top 3 cards. Put the rest away so we don't get any interference from them, because that's the last thing we want. Okay, so here we go. Now then, I hope by now you've decided what number you want. If you wanted to see the cards first, we're going to go, what we're going to do, we're going to go card 1, card 2 and card 3. Okay, I'm never sure if this camera flips or what happens. I should have a shirt with writing on, then I'd know. Card 1, card 2 and card number 3. Take your pick now before you know what the cards are. That's the way, let your inner psychic decide. And we will move straight into card number 1. Wow, here he is, Archangel Michael. I think a lot of us are going to be quite relieved to see this card coming up. It is the first card, and Archangel Michael really is the first of the great Ascended Masters that any of us want to turn to at any time, because he's very protective, you know. He is extremely powerful, and in a sense, he's a bit like the energy of Ganesh that says yes and smashes obstacles out of the way. Archangel Michael, trusting heaven, is the title of his card here, and it says, "You are safe. Angels, stand close, surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur." Well, friends, it's going to take a miracle to really make sense, to really get good things happening in this crazy world of ours at the moment, is it not? And it's very, very hard. In fact, I would say, actually, it's impossible for us to really make sense of what's going on. There are so many different messages about, and so many worries, you know, and when we're in a place of worry, it becomes very difficult for us to actually see clearly where we need to be going, what needs to be happening in our lives. The angels know, the Great Spirit knows, because we are all a part of the Great Spirit. You know, every single one of us is an individual part of the Great Spirit, and you could say the whole of humanity is a reflection of the Great Spirit, and the angels are always there to help, and certainly not least, well, in fact, the greatest, I would say, is Archangel Michael. We need a miracle to occur, we really do. We need a string of miracles, let's face it, and every individual person knows what miracle they need. You might not know it in the front of your mind, but back there in the subconscious, it's all there, okay? Use that third eye. It's never been more important. I've said that quite a few times in videos that I've made over the years, but the fact is it keeps getting more important. It's going to be even more important tomorrow. It's going to be even more important next week. It's going to be even more important next year. You know, the progression is going on, so trust that third eye. Trust heaven, as Archangel Michael says here. And the reason you can really, really trust heaven is that there are amazing, amazing ascended people like Archangel Michael in charge of it. You are safe. That's the great part of this message. You are safe, and angels stand close. Can you see the writing on there? Angels absolutely always stand close. It's easy to forget that, it really is. But they're there, they want to help, they're ready and willing to help. And the only thing to do, really, when we don't know where else to go and we don't know, you know, what the hell's going on, which I think is the case for a lot of us in the world at the moment, then we can turn to the angels and we will get the highest, best, good outcome for ourselves, for our community, for our world, and for everybody around us. Any trouble is just going to be knocked right out of the park by Archangel Michael. Okay, so there is card number 1, Archangel Michael. What have we for card number 2? I hear you ask. It's Hilarion, and it's divine healing. So this is something else that's very much needed in the world, and something, again, like the help of Archangel Michael, something we need more every single day that goes by. Things seem to be just getting worse and worse in the world at the moment. I'm not saying they are getting worse and worse, but they seem to be. And it's those creeping feelings that make things just makes it not so nice to wake up in the morning, you know, into a world of such craziness. But remember, you know, the dream world that we live in, that's where the real answers are. That's where the real truth is. Dreams are so difficult to interpret just because they're difficult to remember. There are many experts around at interpreting dreams, absolutely. But you never quite know if you've remembered the whole dream. You never quite know if you've got the whole picture when you wake up. By the way, friends, do keep a pen and paper or a pencil and paper or a paintbrush, whatever you want to do, next to the bed and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. It's amazing how much of our dreams we lose sight of within about 5-10 minutes of waking up. It really is. So if you really want to sort of study your dreams, and following your dreams is a big part of following your heart, by the way, then keep something by the bed that you can write your dreams down on. I'm not going to say write them down on an app on your phone, because God knows where that information will end up. Certainly, that's just, I just wouldn't do that, because I say certainly, right? It's up in the air, Are people watching our stuff that we put on our phones? Are people really taking notice? Is the government, are we all... Or are we just being paranoid? Who really knows? But if you put stuff out there, if you put stuff on your phone, in a sense, it's out there. You never really know how out there it is, but there's always going to be that sort of suspicion in the back of your mind. So, I'm using pen and paper more and more these days. It's not a total lack of trust in the internet or anything like that. I just want to feel 100% secure. So that's why I do that. Anyway, Hilarion, divine healing, and Hilarion is here to heal all those crazy kind of feelings that we have, as well as any kind, illnesses and problems with the soul, whatever it is, whether it's your marriage, whether it's your family, whether it's something going on within yourself. Divine healing is always needed, and divine healing is what Hilarion symbolizes. And he says, honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. And there we go, friends. We are actually, I'm saying it again, we're all part of the solution here, because when people get together, spiritual people, they bring together a great sort of healing force, because the sum of adding everyone's own healing ability together is much greater than... I've already said the sum, isn't it? That thing, the thing is bigger than the sum of the parts. That's what I'm talking about, okay? And look at that emerald green healing helix on the front of Hilarion's shirt, or whatever it is. I'm really running out of words today, but Hilarion, divine healing, honor your sensitivity. That's so important. That sensitive part of you is really, really key to all the good you can do, all the good you can channel, all the good you can be in this world. Retreat to recharge and heal. Well, I think we all know what that one means. And your light can support others. Never forget that, friends. We all carry some divine light with us, and it really can be a big support to others. Now, Hilarion's come up as the middle card there, so that is really what this reading is hinging on. That's what it's all about, okay? So let's get to card number 3, last card in the reading, Inner Strength, and it is Bridget. Here she is, and Melanie, if you're watching, I know this card is very meaningful for you. It's very meaningful for all of us, really, if we did but know it. And here is Bridget. She says, Inner Strength, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. That's a constant theme throughout all 3 cards in this reading. You have the power. All you've got to do is recognize that you have the power, okay? That takes the panic out of things, and that actually allows your inner dialogue, your mental inward dialogue, which is really between the 2 sides of your brain, in conjunction with the angels, in conjunction with the Great Spirit and all the divine powers and forces, okay? That is really how you move back to wholeness, and that is, how you actually have the power. And we really do have much more power than we think we have, friends. All the stuff that's going on in the world is almost designed to make us think that we don't have the power to affect anything, but my goodness, we really, really do have the power. Okay, and Bridget is a very, very powerful lady. Would you mess with her, friends? I certainly would not mess with her. Okay, so move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. Those two things go together. See, if you recognize that you have the power, you will move back to wholeness, because you'll realize that we all have the answers within us. We really do. Okay, friends, well, that is, it's taken me a lot longer to get this video together than I thought it would, but there we go. We have had the reading, we have had what it's all about. So with that, I'm going to draw this one to a close. Don't forget to drop a like on this if you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button. More videos coming up all the time. And, if you want to join in this sort of family of Merlin's Mountain here, the magic of Merlin's Mountain will reach out to you and you will become a part of the whole thing. Okay, but every card in this reading has reminded us that we are all part of a much wider universe, a much wider spiritual power, and that's what we really need to hang on to. All the influences in the world at the moment are trying to tell us we're not good enough. We've just got to go along with whatever we're told to do at the moment, and some of it we need to go with, some of it we don't need to go with. And, this is how we get the discernment. We tune in to spirit, we take notice of our dreams, and we just keep going. No matter how bad things might seem, we just keep going. And that way, friends, we get there in the end. So I'll say it again, if you want a private reading, do contact me, 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. Meanwhile, be happy, be healthy, and I'll see you again in a future video. Love and light, blessings, and peace.